have a word of prayer before we get started, and I've asked Commissioner Dorsey if he'd lead us in this prayer at this time.
Let's pray. Precious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to live in a free country as American citizens. We thank you for the many men and women, both past, present, and those in the future who have fought for or will continue to fight for the freedoms that we have as Americans. We ask that you be with those in emergency services and keep them safe and out of harm's way. We ask that you be with our troops, and with the conflict going on in the Middle East, we ask that you keep everyone safe and out of harm's way. Once tonight's business is complete, I ask that you give everybody traveling mercy so they can go back home to their families, and it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Let's all stand for our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. We'll call to order the Hart County Board of Commissioners meeting June 24th, 2025, and I'd like to welcome each one of you here, whether you're here in person or YouTube, Hart County Board of Commissioners channel, or HTC Channel 3. We welcome everyone. First on the agenda is to approve the agenda. Terrell, I think he had something he wanted to.
I'd like to add a lawnmower purchase for the rec department. We were going to put it off till the next meeting, but they had another one go down, so we kind of in a bind with them.
13D.
13D, correct. And I'll lay on your desk there the three state contract bids we got on, three different ones. They're on your desk.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it. You got anything for, I don't think we got anything for executive session, Michelle.
Okay. All right, going to get a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second. Got a motion by Commissioner Teasley, a second by Commissioner Bennett. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 508. All right, we'll move on down to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Is there any additions or corrections need to be made to those? If not, can we get a motion to approve as printed?
Motion
approved 1625 regular minutes.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Bennett, second by Commissioner Teasley. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? This is 5-0 vote. All right, we'll move on to invited guests, committees, or authorities. We have none. Constitutional officers, nothing. Okay, we'll move on to county administrator's report.
Just one thing. We had discussed the intersections at the last meeting, and we run through the 911 system yesterday, and that, what you've got there is a list of everything we had called in at intersections. You got two lists. One is county intersections of county roads, and the other is intersections of county roads to state highways, which seems to be more than the county roads. But that'll give you an idea where we're having the accidents at, and that don't tell us how bad they were or anything like that. That's just simple running a report off for intersections. So that's just for y'all to keep.
It's about a year's time.
That's a year's time. That's 12 months. I took the cities out and all that stuff. That was what's called in located at an intersection. That's not all the wrecks, but just the ones at intersections.
Okay.
That's all.
All right, thank you. As far as chairman's report, we do have the pre-fourth going on Saturday. Also, we have a Little League 12 and under tournament going on this Saturday. It starts at 11 o'clock. So if anybody's Little League would like to see Hart County out there supporting them, and matter of fact, the Hart County game's at 1:30, so be sure to be there for that to support that. And that's about all I have at this time, so I'll go on to District 1. Commissioner Bennett.
I don't have a whole lot, Mr. Chairman, other than I'd like to thank all of those that's put together a fireworks show down at the lake on Saturday afternoon. A lot of effort goes into that, a lot of expense goes into that. You know, everybody keep in mind all the families that's lost loved ones in the last couple of weeks. There's quite a few in Hart County here, so I'll keep those people in our prayers. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, move to District 2, Commissioner Teasley.
I too appreciate all the work our public safety does. Everybody falls up under the public safety umbrella. And also appreciate all our county employees. I've been seeing the Bush Hog crew. They were on Ridge Road working today, and saw them out and about, and appreciate the job that they do. And look forward for the pre-4th extravaganza Saturday morning. And them ladies on that, I'm not really sure who all is involved in, but I know the Hartwell Service League is. And I don't know whether the chamber has anything, a whole lot to do with it or not, but I appreciate everything they do, which the chamber does, don't they? And I appreciate them as well on the job that they do. That's all I got.
All right, we'll move on to District 4, Commissioner Brown.
Yes, I'd like to thank everyone who was involved in the Nancy Hart statue dedication. Myself and Chairman were there, and it was last week, wasn't it last week? And it was a good event, and recognizing someone obviously very important to our community, but also the nation as a whole, iconic figure, you know, when this country was being founded and fighting for its freedom. And appreciate everybody that had a hand in that and taking care of that corner, and also kind of brought to light that other volunteers that pitch in and spend a lot of hours at time that's you know, just upon themselves to keep the courthouse clean. And just want to say appreciate them getting it ready, as well as our crews here, rec department, getting that courthouse ready for the pre-4th. Looking forward to everybody coming in and having a safe and fun holiday. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to District 5, Commissioner Dorsey.
I don't have anything.
Okay. All right, now we'll move on to old business, 12A, Legacy Link contract quarterly.
Yeah, this is another one of our quarterly updates. It just updates the number of meals to have. The dollar figure don't change. They update, like they update the number of meals they put out and pay for quarterly. That's all it is. There's no change in the dollar figure.
All right, can we get a motion to allow me to sign this contract?
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Teasley, second by Commissioner Brown. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. All right, now we'll move on to driveway culvert policy discussion.
This has kind of come up recently. Matter of fact, it come up a while back. We kind of discussed it about what we were charging for driveway pipes. Now, George, you want to take?
Yeah, I can. So basically what the policy that we should have been following was if somebody gets a building permit, we would put in a driveway pipe. But what we've got is we got developers that are out here abusing this. And what brought it to my attention was on Bethany Bowersville Road last week. The road department was out there and they put 7 driveway pipes in for one builder. And that's not right. I don't feel like it's the taxpayer's responsibility to subsidize this. And my thought process was, and I talked to some, I think I talked to everybody. I have talked to everybody. And I know Commissioner Brown brought this up earlier about we need to look at it, and I agree with him, and that's why I put it on here, that we limit the number of driveway pipes to 1 per building permit per property owner. So if you're a contractor and you're going to build 10 houses, you're going to pay for 9 of them. You ain't gonna
And
get
that's the
one.
way it works for the averages.
Right.
If we'll give them one for their address, we'll give them 1 driveway pipe. If they want their second driveway put in, they've already had to pay for their second pipe.
Yep. So I'll put that in the form of a motion that we amend the policy effective today, going forward tomorrow.
Before anybody seconds it,
Wait a minute, let's reread your, or restate your.
We changed the driveway pipe policy to provide 1 per property owner when they get a building permit for 12 months.
Okay. I didn't hear the timeline to start with. I want to make sure that everybody
No, I got you
understands.
now. That's why I was
1
trying to
3
figure out the price, but it won't be a price for the second because it won't be one. You have to
limit
hire
it
it
to
out.
one, everybody gets treated the same.
Which I feel like a majority of folks, when they, let's say do a development or
Let me go ahead
subdivision.
and give him a second on that. Now we'll have
I get a
discussion.
second.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
All right.
Jumping the gun.
All right, go ahead. All right, we'll have a discussion.
Well, I look.
The only thing I'm asking, if a developer buys, say, our road front ordinance says 3-acre lots, up to 5 lots. Then if he buys the property, he gets one culvert, and he sells those lots to individuals, they get the culvert.
Whoever gets the building permit
Right,
and does it. I mean,
okay, that's
fine.
all I was wanting to make.
But let me,
One per 12 months.
let me clarify that now. The same builder may get 12 building permits.
Right. But he's only going to get one driveway pipe in 12 months.
The driveway pipe comes with the address.
But I'm talking about tie this to the building
Right.
permit.
That was one thing that was bringing around there.
I'll be honest, I kind of have heartburn, and I may be the only one here, that's fine, but I do want to make my point of, I think the county's losing money on this deal, and I've felt this way for some time, and even me as a real estate investor myself, I've told multiple folks that I'd be willing to pay a contractor to do it, or pay more for every time I put in a culvert. I just don't feel right personally, knowing what it costs to put in that culvert pipe and gravel, and it only costing me $50 to do it. And so I think from a cost standpoint on the county, we don't have impact fees. We don't have a high building permit fee structure, such as some of our neighboring counties do. Yet, of course, we're a very sought-after community to live in, and which is great, but we don't want to stretch our departments thin, and we definitely don't want to be losing money, taxpayer money, with the influx of people coming in. And so if it's costing us, let's just say $800, or maybe it's $1,500 per pipe, having some type of method we're recouping it. And I know that may not be necessarily the ideal for someone who's lived here their whole life and almost about to build a house. But, if you're about to spend $400,000, I mean, it's one of those things, it's cost of doing business.
Should just limit to the parcel of land. If a guy or developer buys a parcel of land, he gets one culvert, and he can cut 50 lots in there, and he's gonna pay for the rest of them.
That's what you're doing.
Okay.
The problem, and the county used to charge for them, and they did them free. The reason they went back to doing them again is there's so many problems with them being put in and water not draining out of the pipes.
By individuals.
That maintaining our right of way, that's our responsibility.
Right.
That's why the board went back and made that decision to do that. But I mean, we could charge for the pipe, but I still think we should be the ones to put them in, because if we don't, we're gonna have problems.
I would like for us to look at that going forward. I think right now this is a great way to go, is to limit it to one per, and then in the future, possibly getting the administrator to looking more into detail of what our cost basis is on that as we head into
I
budget
can tell
time.
you right now, the least amount it costs us is $600. Pipe's right at $400, we gotta put half a load of gravel, dirt, whatever on it. So if the cost now, minimal is about $600. Up to $1,500, how much gravel you got.
Yeah, I was gonna say, depending on where it's at, how deep the ditch is, holding around there,
Yeah.
it's a lot to come into play there.
All right, we got a motion by Commissioner Dorsey, second by Commissioner Brown. Any other discussion? And this effective tonight?
Tomorrow morning.
All right. I'll call for a vote now. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. All right, we'll move on to closing Lone Point for fireworks display. And Terrell, Jim just mentioned to me about this needs to be at 8 o'clock on Friday morning.
Correct.
They need to close it
Yeah.
instead of PM.
I got my PM and AM.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we authorize the closure of Lone Point at 8 a.m. Friday morning, the 27th, for fireworks display.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Dorsey, second by Commissioner Teasley. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? That's 5-0 vote. We'll move on down to new business amendment, the no-through truck ordinance to add Little Road to the list. I think Commissioner Dorsey, is that in your district?
I did. I put this on. I've had problems with, I'll say it, Marjack. They've been cutting through Little Road, instead of going down to Otis Skelton Road, going down Goldmine Holly Springs another quarter of a mile, then turning on to Otis Skelton. They're cutting through Little Road, and I talked to the company, they said they would stop it. But if you've got a substitute driver or whatever, somebody may decide they don't want to do it, let's go and put it on the no-through truck list, what the residents asked that we do, and I'll make a motion that we take this as a first reading to add Little Road to the no-through truck ordinance.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Dorsey, second by Commissioner Teasley.
They're already going around anyways. It's just they've been
They
substituted.
were cutting through as of Thursday of last week. That's when I made another phone call.
Any other discussion? We'll call for a vote. All in favor? This is 5-0 vote. All right, we'll move on to credit for experience road department.
Yeah. Shannon's hired Jeff Jones that's got a lot of experience with a dump truck as a CDL driver. He's requesting to give him 8 years of credit as a dump truck operator.
I'll make a motion that we approve that request.
How you say?
Motion by Commissioner Teasley, second by Commissioner Bennett. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. All right, we'll move on to credit for experience administration office.
Yeah, I've hired Beth Zinkville here for as assistant payroll, assistant accounts payable clerk. I'll get that in a minute. And she does have 8 years as office manager, plus she has 4 years in the tax office. So
I thought she worked up tag office.
Yeah,
I
she
give
did
you
4
a
years.
motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
All right, I'll second it. We got a motion second. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. All right, now we come to the item 14, public comment. Do we have any?
We got the lawnmower.
I'm sorry,
ahead.
I read it on my
13D.
wrong one, didn't I? Okay, lawnmower. All right, you got 3 bids in front of you there.
You got 3 bids, and Jim's recommendation is a John Deere.
I got a question. We've got lawnmower dealers in Hart County, and there's not one of these bids from a Hart County business. You got Ray Small Engines, that's an Exmark dealer. You got ETM, that's a Snapper dealer. You got Royston Reynolds, that's a Dixie Chopper dealer. There's no bids for no Hart County businesses.
ETM, Joe, is Gravely.
Okay, Gravely. It used to be Snapper at one time, I think, but
As long as they honor the state contract, we'll be glad to.
I feel sure Exmark is.
Yeah, well,
Exmark
I
is,
got one of them Dixie choppers 3 years ago over at Royston Rental. They, I can say they're good mowers. I've had no problem with mine whatsoever.
I would like to stay in what we currently have with our other mowers. We have good service, we have good ability to get parts.
Those name brands, you'll get parts, not a problem. The Exmark name brand, you can get parts there every day.
You said what do you have now is all
We have
Deere motors?
2 Deere, a Bobcat, and a Kubota. The one that just went down and blew an engine, they fixed it out of the shop and blew it in. It was the oldest John Deere we had, it was about 20 years old, had over 2,500 hours on it. The Kubota that we bought for the girls to use several years ago, the pieces just breaking off the deck, and this is the second deck that we've had to use for Kubota.
Are these gas engines or diesels?
We've had good results with the John Deere.
I got a John Deere 0. I have no complaints with it.
We had an Exmark a couple of times.
We had an Exmark
They
and
didn't.
it died.
They didn't last.
I know, I find that hard to believe.
Most of the commercial.
Oh, they did. I
Now,
remember
they may
buying.
have improved
We
them.
bought that new, it was here when I
Yeah,
got here.
yeah, we bought that new one that time.
And the
Most of
motor, the motor blew in that one.
I mean, you got a dealer here in your backyard in the county that I feel sure would appreciate being at least an opportunity to,
Well, I mean,
Bid.
we'll put it all
I mean, you got
next
to-
meeting.
Guys, I need this mower. We're down to one for this whole, for most of last week and this week.
Which one of the dealers is going to, when that mower goes down, have you a new one ready within a couple hours?
I don't know any dealer that
Well, we bought our mower, or every mower that we've purchased, when it goes down, they give you another one to use while that one's getting fixed, if you have a commercial
Oh, you're talking
contract.
about loaner. Oh, loaner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's what John Deere has done in the past. I mean, I don't know if that's changed here recent, but that would be something to look at too. Because instead of it sitting at our shop, if we're gonna buy a brand new one, they need to be the ones fixing it, in my opinion.
Well, they do got one.
And then when it's being fixed, they should have one ready to go.
I'll give kudos to our shop. They do it way faster than any other dealer, or any dealer for that matter.
Well, I think he's talking about under the warranty. Under the warranty side.
Like one, you get out here 6 months
I
later.
don't know
it goes
where,
down.
I don't know where either one of them businesses that we talked about is in, on state contract or not, but
I know
they are.
Exmark
I agree
is.
that if you can buy it local, it ought to be, not purchase local if you can. But that's,
We do try to go locally if at all possible, but with this, the experience that we've had, the number of hours that we put on these mowers, I'm just,
Well, purchasing policy says we talk to Hart County businesses first, I think, does it not?
I don't know.
For
I
something
assume it
this
does.
level?
We always try to, anyway.
Because you're supposed to take, I'm not sure what the threshold is, you're supposed to take the phone book, I think that's under $1,000 or something, and it's different levels. I didn't bring my laptop tonight.
Can we not get one of these quotes first thing in the morning from these locals?
Well, y'all still got to approve the purchase, whatever we do.
For what?
Y'all still got to approve the purchase, whatever we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be glad to do something different if you want us to do
I
it.
think we should. I mean, we owe it to our local businesses to at least give them a shot.
You said you need a little more than tomorrow, right? You ought to break that.
we're trying to get everything cut at the Sports Recreation, the new park, the courthouse, Long Point. Last week it was, the mega ramp and, something else.
What about this? What if we see what Wilson Reynolds got and we rent one for a week, get you up until they decide what they want to do?
I think they're gonna have the Kubota back up and running. I only got the parts today.
Well, either way, I'm talking about,
We'll have one back of the group, or we'll have two of the group going.
So you got 3 now that you operate with, and one's gone. But we could put this
Two
week.
are down right now.
if they got a deck,
If we get the Kubota back tomorrow, we'll be back at 2.
they have to get a new deck.
Possibly. I think Billy would fix it.
Well, we'll say, it would have done to pull the spindle out of the deck, broke the deck around the spindle.
Yeah. That's heavy.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, these things get hot because we're running them for 6, 7 hours a day. And the bearings will just, the grease boil and the bearings fry.
Well, if y'all want to get the price of it, we can put it.
I
all
think
on
we
there.
should. I think we owe it to our
How's that
local
for y'all?
businesses.
What are you doing now in your bid process? Are you just seeking out 3 and seeing who comes back with it?
These are the 3 that we've done business with for a long time. The newest mower we have is the Bobcat. But to be honest with you, I'm not gonna say it public yet, because we haven't talked, but, Bobcat's good, but it's not as good in my opinion as the John Deere. The John Deere is just much better, well put together.
But we didn't put this out for bid. I guess,
No,
I guess my,
Well, actually, the reason I have these is I was putting it in a budget to ask for in next year's budget. And I just happened to have them when all this stuff started going down. That's the only reason I have it.
and I apologize just for not knowing, but that's just my curiosity. I mean, we're constantly opening up Jersey and, pom-pom bids just to turn around and send to the rec department. But we're not bidding
See,
out this.
well, we'll go
I
back,
agree with you. I think it ought to be put out, at least.
I mean,
offered to them
we don't need to be
businesses.
opening up jerseys
Bid on it.
every meeting. And then we're
That's
turning
why I
around
wanna
and
do
not,
it every 3
I mean,
years.
I'd rather as a commissioner be determining the mower versus, the jerseys and the pom-pom stuff.
I don't think a lot more places are gonna bid on this thing,
Yeah.
so. They're just gonna
That's
get,
what we revert
That's
back
what we
to
got a
state
rate board for.
contract. These has already been bidded out by the state.
Okay.
That's where the state contract price comes from. The state bids all these things out at one time.
We did that with vehicles.
Yeah.
Like that.
Now, we'd be glad to bid them individually, but, and they may can beat the state contract, I don't know, but it would be kind of highly unlikely.
I think. what
Let's
Commissioner
do
Dorsey
this.
said,
If
they
we can get in
local-
contact with these vendors that are in the county, and if any of them are state contracts, give them an opportunity. If they're not state contracts, go ahead and do this.
I mean, we don't need to beg them. I mean, it needs to be a
Just give
thing
them
like, hey,
opportunity to bid whether they are or not.
There was a-
every year you need to
I have
put
no
in.
problem with that.
Okay.
I just think that they pay taxes in Hart County, they have a right to do business with us.
Especially if there's no opportunity, no advertising.
Right.
Well, just,
Nothing's been advertised at all about this.
And if the need
That other
be,
board went down
Yeah, I
yesterday.
know.
We were gonna put it
I
off to next
I
meeting.
understand. I'm not being critical.
there's
I
a
get
lot
it.
of grass need to be cutting in the next few days, pre-4th, Little League.
The Little League did a real more, he's still using it, didn't he?
That's only on your turf.
Yeah.
We got a lot of grass outside of those fences.
But I don't hear no complaints from the board that we'll rent a mower or whatever it takes to get you another mower, right?
Right.
That's what I'm
We
hearing.
can do
That's
that.
right.
We
I
can
ain't got
run
no
more
problem with
for
that.
a week, whatever next meeting. We can do whatever.
And then we'll
we
come back with if there is a state contract out there and within the county, we'll give them a shot at it. All right? Is that fair?
Sound good, man.
Okay.
Sound good.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
Appreciate it, Jim.
Now we'll go to public comment. Item number 14, is anyone here like to speak under public comment? Okay. Mr. Thompson, if you would, state your name and address.
Yeah, my name is Ty Thompson. I live on 86 Monica Drive, Hartwood, Georgia. If any of y'all got some beans cooking, you might ought to go home and get them off, because I might be here a few minutes. But I wasn't going to say some of this that I brought here, but I got to thinking, there's not a crowd here, but then we got the TV audience, and I want you guys to know I respect all you guys do. You got a tough job, and you can't please everyone. I just want to bring up some facts, and I know some of you know why I'm here. I want to bring up some facts about this county. I want to bring up some facts about our veterans of this county. And I want to make one thing perfectly clear. I love the veterans of this county, this country. I'll fight a mountain lion for any one of them who burns that flag or puts the American national anthem down. They deserve the praise that they got, men, women, wars of old and new and yet to come. They deserve that attention. They deserve the memorials up on the square. Every one of them is well earned. Their names are engraved on there, the ones who sacrificed his name. But what I can't understand is why the people of Hart County waits 10 years to get the United Daughters off their backsides and do something about replacing that Confederate statue on the square. I came in here 8 months ago. I asked each one of you, or you as a group, and like I said, I respect you guys. I don't nothing. If y'all think it's personal toward you as a group. And I asked you to speak to the United Daughters and find out their intentions and why they are just hiding. They haven't done nothing to honor their heritage in 15 years except stay over in their cave. If they're scared of something or someone or whatever, let it be known so people can back you up. I asked y'all to ask them why did they turn 2 statues down from the Sons of Confederate Veterans. 2 statues, one of solid brass, worth $38,000. Both together was $52,000. And they said, no, we don't want them. That's just days after the statues were taken down. We asked them why they refused $5,000 check from a gentleman here in Hartwell. I don't want to mention his name, but bless his heart, he's passed on. They refused it because they said they didn't have insurance coverage, but he was willing to pay it for them. Why? Are they ashamed of their heritage? If they are, they need to close their doors. And I'm asking you guys, if in a professional manner, if y'all ashamed of your heritage, then take the whole unit down up there. Take it all down. the United Daughters is just laughing at the whole county, because as long as that statue is on that square, they don't have to do nothing. Because in the old days, they was understanding there's not one written article up there that says that they own that property. The county owns the property. All of you know that. The United Daughters of the Confederacy owns the statue. And as long as that statue's on there, they don't have to do anything. And I asked y'all, if to do something, just talk to them. That's been 8 months, and I don't know if any of y'all spoke to either one of them at all. Now, do y'all realize that yesterday was 10 years that statue was taken down? 10 years yesterday. Are y'all going to wait? Are the people in Hart County, are they going to wait another 10 years? Then we don't give a rat's behind. Thank God for, we have freedom of speech, because I want to clean it up as much as I can. But I don't know, I've never accomplished great things in my lifetime, but I know, and I feel deep in my heart, the good Lord put me here on this earth to honor these men that what I've got in this bag represents. I know in my heart, if I don't do nothing else in my lifetime, I want to leave this world knowing that every Confederate soldier and every woman at that time will pat me and my dad on the back and say, "Job well done, son. You honored us well." But why can't the county do it? You have the power to do it. You said, well, we gave them permission. They had permission 100 years ago to put the statue up. Why don't somebody do something? You got the power. You say, well, you got the power because they own the statue. You do. You control all the money that comes in on the taxes that I pay. I pay it. They pay. Everybody pays. You got control of that, so you pretty well inherited the property that statue sits on up there. And if I'm wrong, correct me. I'm not man enough. I can't say I'm sorry. I apologize. But you've inherited the position of our money to whatever you want to do. Y'all can talk about chair carters, you can talk about lawnmowers, but why can't you talk about 191 souls died from Hart County? I've got them documented right here, every one of them, where they died, how they died, what of, and everything else and where. And half of them that were buried is unmarked because the Yankees, when they come through the country, they burned the head markers up for firewood. They literally destroyed everything they come through the South. And it says in John 10:10 in the Bible that spoke directly of the Yankee armies when they come through, thanks to Abe Lincoln. He said the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And that's exactly what they done when they come through the Southland. What they couldn't put in their pockets, they put on boats and trains and wagons and shipped them back up north and bragged to the family. Well, the South's real generous. We sure do like it down here. Well, sure. I'd like to sit in here to sun up and tell you all the atrocities that the Yankees brought upon these 191 souls that sacrificed their life for the property this building stands on. You know, Hart County wasn't always in the Union. It was for 4 years in a sovereign country, gave to them by the Constitution of the United States of America. Lincoln's own men begged and said, honor the Constitution, Mr. Lincoln. Leave the South alone because they know it's going to be a long and bloody war. And Lincoln was determined he was going to start a war, and he did. And I'm sorry if I have to add on, but I'm going to lay some facts down before I leave. He was a sadistic traitor to this country. He defied everything that this Constitution and every drop of blood that was shed from George Washington on to this very day. He defied this country and the Constitution of the United States by denying the South their right to secede from the Union. He said, well, I'll fight to unite the Union. Well, how can he explain he cut West Virginia from Virginia during the war illegally, but the South couldn't leave the Union legally? He was the two faces his ugly face was. If you don't think he wasn't sadistic, ask what he done to the Indian nation after over a sick cow that wandered into their reservation. And they killed and ate it, and he was going to hang 100 innocent people because the little war started. When it was over, he was going to make an example of everyone. 100 innocent souls. He had the scaffolds already built. And his men talked him into hanging 50. He hung 49 innocent souls at one time. One time for a sick cow. And y'all tell me he wasn't sadistic, he wasn't a traitor to this country? He defied every article that was in the Constitution of the United States. And I'm sitting here and I'm pleading. You know what? If the people of Hart County hate this statue so bad, y'all can put it to vote if you want to, respectively ask you. If you don't want the statue, take this picture of General Lee off the wall behind you. Do y'all not realize he's up there too? You can't love one and hate the other. If y'all don't want your heritage, if you don't want to support it and tell the United Dollars to get off their backside, then take that picture down, take that statue up, and let the county do what they wish with the property there. Put a fountain there. I don't care. 191 souls. And you know what the people of Hart County, you know what their feelings are toward a whole generation that Abraham Lincoln just ripped apart with his arrogance and traitorship, and every Yankee that crossed into Virginia was a traitor, as far as I'm concerned, except Lawrence Chamberlain from Maine, who actually gave the Confederacy a good word. This is all that remains of the statue that was taken down up there on the square. That's it, fellas. That's all. They didn't get it all. And United Arts, you think you're going to get your hands on this, and you got a terrible fight ahead of you. You better pack a lunch and bring some big men. I tell you, I get so frustrated. I apologize for rattling on. Somebody's got to speak for these 191 souls. 191 people, man, that never came back to this. The ones that did come back are buried. Most of them are scattered posthumously all over the eastern front. Blood and guts scattered all over the country. And who cares? Are y'all going to wait another 10 years? Or, well, maybe we ought to tell them to do something. They don't care if they're not going to do nothing. Shut their doors would be the best thing y'all can do. I can give you some options. Make them put it up or take it down or give me permission to put the statue up on top of it. Then I'll deal with United Dollars. It's not that hard to figure out. Like I say, y'all can vote over a terracotta pipe. Can't you not see the severity of this? A whole generation of men and women died for this cause. They fought for this very county, which was a country in which they're owned. If Lincoln had left them all alone, they probably went back in the Union to start with. I'd like to get on him for about an hour here, but I know everybody's got things to do and whatever. Before I go to crying over being just distraught because the county seems just, who cares? Why ain't the ones who love their heritage, why aren't they here backing me up? Why aren't the ones that hate it so? If I don't want it up, that's y'all's business. I'll ask each one of you why you vote the way you do. Like I say, but why the haters aren't here? Why ain't they, they don't have to be here because nobody's going to do nothing. The United Dollars going to settle in their dust over, and I like to use some different words, to be honest. They took an oath to honor those statues. I'll be done here in just a second. People don't know what that statues were put up for. The Confederate soldiers knew that the victors were going to write the history. And look at what they've done. They took all the statues pretty well down all over the country. They're too ashamed to put this down here because they know all the war atrocities that they're committed down here. They know there'd be a war if they saw a Yankee statue put up here somewhere. I'd rather see it, though, than the one up there just making a mockery of everyone. I tell you, I London News read right here, and I'll be done in just a second. This makes the point. Get my glasses out. Y'all just bear with me. I'm fixing to lock this up right here. With what presence of fairness it is said, can you Americans object to secession of the southern states when your nation was founded on secession from the British Empire? Union News, London News, 1861. Even they recognized that the Constitution should have been amended. And like I said, I got stuff here, guys, I'd love to get down on. I'd be here all night long. And due to respect to all of you here in the audience or whatever, I need to close this before I just have a heart attack. But I want everybody to know, the ones who are listening, watching, this is the remains of 191 hard-earned souls right here. And the way we're going to honor it, the Hart counties of this county, I know you love your veterans. God knows they do. I love it. And I know all you do. But were these not veterans? They fought for their country. They knew if they lost the war, they'd lose everything. And they did. And then had martial law for 11 years. There was a doctor killed up here on the square for no reason at all. Just he was a doctor and said something smart about the Yankees. I reckon they killed him. And we brag about our history. We got signs up there that said, welcome to beautiful historical downtown Hartwell. There's nothing historical about Hartwell except old buildings, yeah, and this, that, and all. That's been here for whatever. So what's the building? But what happens to these guys? Who cares what happens to these guys? 191 men. I documented every one of them right here. And if I wanted to, and they'll probably give us all time, I'd read every one of them. Obituary. 191 souls, people. You think about it. If you don't love your veterans, I feel sorry for you. These were true veterans, is any veterans, and I'm not here to disgrace any veterans in this audience or out in the other audience or anywhere in this world. I love y'all. But it's a shame what Hart County is doing to honor their veterans of the war of northern aggression. There's no other way to put it. 191 souls, fellas. Y'all think about it. I'd like to ask y'all to just take a vote, if you would. Yea or nay, put it up or take it down. I don't know what kind of spot it would put y'all on. If y'all need a time to talk about it, I'll meet you, each one of you somewhere else. We'll discuss it. In the next meeting, y'all let me know what's going on. But it's like I say, you can't love one and hate the other. You can't hate this right here and love that right there, fellas. That's General Lee right there, and I salute you, sir. Think about it, guys. I'm not here to argue and to bicker and yay and nay. I'm just simply putting facts in front of you. These guys deserve better than little pieces of scrap. And the United Daughters sitting over there in a cave, ashamed to even get out. But where were they April 26th on Confederate Memorial Day? I was on the square up there in my Confederate uniform for 3 hours. Not a soul come up and say, hey, what are you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. A lot of people don't care, but I care. And when I leave this world, I know that I've done my part. And thank God you give me the heart and soul to have the courage to stand here in front of everybody and show my love for 191. And not just these, but for all the men and women that fought back then. It was terrible. God bless you. Think hard on it, fellas. We need to do something, because y'all think I'm going to give up. You know, I'm going to be a prick in your side forever, just like the Bible says. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Thomas.
The way I understand that, Mr. Thompson, is that the monument is not the county's. The county gave the DA, Daughters of Confederacy, permission to put that monument there. And that monument is their responsibility. And if I'm misquoting that, I'm sorry, but that's the way I understand it.
It's their responsibility to keep it there, too. 10 years yesterday, I picked this up off the ground when it was taken down that night. It was taken down, I have witnesses that saw it taken down.
We have voted for them to put the monument back up.
Well, when you gonna do something about it? Those don't do nothing.
We can't force them. That's,
You got permission to tell people how many chicken houses to put up in the ground, big ditches and this and that. I mean, you can't tell those ladies, like, you can't even get an answer from them. What are their intentions?
well, the Nancy Hart Memorial should have been something the board approved. We didn't have anything to do with that. It was never brought to us. It's inside the ring of the courthouse. That's on the county's property. We had nothing to do with that. It was not even brought to us.
Well, I'm not mentioning anything about next Hart. I'm talking about the Southern Confederate there with a statue broken down also, and heads tore off of it.
I understand.
And this is all that's left to show. So their contribution to this county, and you can't tell me y'all can't do something about it. You know, it blows away, the statue blows up y'all own property.
I do have a question. So he mentioned that there has been numerous people wanting to come forward and put a new monument up. What if they just put it up? Who's going to tell them no?
The United Daughters turned it down.
Well, if they're not doing anything, I mean, are they going to take it where the previous statue was? If someone was to put a new statue there, I mean, who's going to tell them no? I mean, they would have. I mean, the Daughters of a Confederacy may say something, but what are they going to do? File a complaint?
And y'all give me permission, I'll get one put up. It might take me a while because there's no road to they have to.
That may be an attorney question
Well, we'll look at it offline.
there. Yeah, we'll look it offline. I'd be scared to give you an answer either way because I just don't know.
All right. Anything else? If not, can we get a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Bennett, second by Commissioner Dorsey. All in favor, call for vote. All in favor, 5.